moving so fast. Today's the 28th already.
Oh, wow, wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow. Time is
yeah.
flying.
It's really moving so fast.
Yeah, very,
Oh
very
my
fast.
gosh. Hi, guys, and welcome to Let Love Sparkle. Today, we have a very special guest, Mr. and Mrs. Akashambatwa from North Carolina. How do you feel about today's show, babe?
Wow, I'm very excited, especially the topic that we're going to talk about.
Uh-huh.
That's very exciting. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear from them.
Yeah, me too. They are a beautiful couple and an inspiration to many people, many
Exactly.
young people, many young couples, many young families. They are an inspiration, and we can't wait to have them on. Guys, today is awesome. You don't have to miss this one, and please share, and invite your friends so we can learn together.
Okay, so how do you feel? How do you feel about this topic?
Oh, it's amazing. When I read, we received a lot of topics, but when I saw this one, and I'm considering also the couple that we have today, I was like, this is a very good topic for them. I was so excited. And culture, man, talking about culture is all big thing, and
Exactly.
it affects marriages, build up, and also break marriages. So it's gonna be interesting. Tell us, you guys are watching, what you think about this topic, and has it affected your marriage or any relationship? Has culture ever played a big role in your marriage? Because it's amazing topic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think our guests are almost ready.
Um. Yeah, they are ready.
Okay.
We'll be bringing them in.
Okay, let's have our guests join us right now.
Uh-huh.
Hi, beautiful people.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
Oh my gosh, you guys are so beautiful.
thank you. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we are doing
We're
very
good,
good.
thank you.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
You are
Oh, thank
welcome.
you.
Mrs. Akashambatua, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good
Thank
to
you.
see you. Good to see you.
You too.
Thank you. Today's topic, the role of culture in marriage. How do you feel about that?
Well, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly to talk about, I guess.
Yes. Yes. But before we get into it, we know you guys have a charity organization that you run. So what's the name and what can you say about it? Can you just shed more light and so we can learn what it's about?
That's all on you.
Okay. Well, thank you again for inviting us to this wonderful program by wonderful and gracious, beautiful people. The Maccabees, we've known each other for a while now. When you guys were here in North Carolina, in Charlotte, and we have followed you and we admire what you guys do, your music career and your supportive husband,
And
Winnie,
and the beautiful babies.
and the
Can't live
beautiful
with them.
baby.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much again. We run an organization, me and our friend Patrick Horton and my wife. We founded Kids Dreams Club in 2014 here in Lexington, North Carolina, and the mission is to provide a platform for child development through provision of after school child development activities. And also, we do summer day camps, and also we do a lot of volunteer leadership development for teens.
Okay.
So it's a well-rounded child development program here in Lexington, North Carolina. We have grown to be one of the best. In fact, last year, was it 2020? or 2019 when we won the best charity award in the city
Wow.
That's
and
good.
county.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So we've been here now. We are part of the community. We are a very well respected child development institution in the county of Jefferson County of North Carolina, and we love children, and so we work to develop, empower, and support children in their academic endeavors, in their social and spiritual growth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Really
very good. That's really inspirational. That's amazing. That's a good thing that you guys are doing. Wow, we love babies too. We love kids.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have 3 children.
No, beautiful children.
So we love children, and congratulations, you guys, for that good work.
Mhm.
So for all the people that are watching, please, this is their website, www.kidsdreamzclub.com. Please check out their website and please support, because when they're doing charity, it's a lot, and I'm sure you have a lot of kids, right?
Yes.
So
In
you need
fact,
support from everywhere, right?
That's true.
right. We are actually one of the, in terms of enrollment, we are right there with YMCA in the local YMCA.
Nice.
We have a lot of children here.
That's really good.
Mm.
That's really good.
So everybody watching, if you can support, if you can contribute anything to this beautiful organization, please feel free to contact them. You've seen the website over here. Please feel free to share with everybody and contribute. Thank you so much, guys. We'll be contributing too very soon.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. We're gonna get into it. The role of culture in marriages. Have you been affected by culture, you guys, in your marriage?
Yeah, in the beginning was tough. I was coming from a culture that was all about pride and doing things on your own. And so when me and Richard decided that we were going to finish our life together, I had no idea his culture. He had no idea mine. So the first couple years, I would say the first 3 years were rocky. But I would say that we're still learning each other's culture even after 12 years.
Oh,
Yes, that's very true. I mean, the first time that we got together, seriously, where we were thinking about getting into marriage, it was very exciting, but we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into at the very beginning until it hit us maybe a month into marriage after our wedding in Livingstone, Zambia. We crashed so much, like we fought almost every day on everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a very bad situation. I mean, we argued,
The first year was tough.
very, very tough. And I think that was our storming period to learn each other, to adjust. And it was hard for me. I'm a very, very hardcore, traditionalist, cultural.
To him, yeah.
For me is everything, of course. So it was hard for me to adjust my the way I do things, the way I interact, and so it was rough at the very beginning, and so it affected our marriage very early on when we got together. And definitely culture and traditions came crushing. Our first month of marriage was hell.
I can imagine, because everybody, when you just get married, we don't really know what we're getting ourselves into. First of all, I want to congratulate you guys. You've been married for 12 years.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yes, that's really amazing, because I would tell you from us, I was just excited. I need to go. I need to go to America and be with my husband. I was very excited. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're dating, it's different, right?
That's
You
true.
see people hide so many things, and
Yeah.
you just get excited to get married and be together. And then I found that this guy is very stubborn.
We are all stubborn.
I know, right?
And also my stubbornness, it was just something else
Yeah, the
too.
first year is always shaky. It's
I think
very
the
shaky.
first
The
year,
first year.
yeah, it's really crazy.
Okay.
But also knowing that the hard part with them is that they are coming from different worlds.
Different world. That's true.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
talk of culture. I know you're from Zambia. So in Zambia, I know there's some people that believe like marrying a person of the same culture. I'm talking about families.
Yeah.
So how did both families handle your stewardship since you are different cultures?
I'll let her start because I think she had a more she had more challenges with our family than I did.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's important to have a little bit of the background. So we actually met when I was 17, and I did some mission work in Livingston in town at the church that he was a youth leader at.
Right.
And so we met and exchanged emails for 4 years before we actually came back together and met again. So we felt like we knew each other a lot when I finally moved back in 2008. So I called my mom. My mom is like, I'm going to book a flight. I'm coming now. I can't miss it. So she heads over to Zambia, and he says, you need to call your dad. And for me, that was a huge challenge because my dad is country white boy, doesn't accept anything else. And so when I called my father and give him the news, he basically disowned me from the family for a bit. But within a couple years, he was very accepting and come around to the idea. But I think on my side, my father was the challenge.
Oh, wow.
That's the question I wanted to ask. How did you guys handle the acceptance? Because I know, just like in any other relationship and in marriage, there's a stage whereby you introduce this guy to your family, and then there's a point where now you get into the family, and then they have to accept you. So I like the way you already said that you had the challenge you had was on your dad's side, but did you get that challenge on Akashambato's family too, of being accepted in his family?
Yes and no. So they, mom, dad sat us down outside under a tree one day, and they just kind of laid it all out there. This is going to be a challenge for you. This is going to be a challenge for you. And, although I knew I was 100% accepted, Richard's dad struggled a little bit with the idea. Are you sure you want to do this? It's going to affect this later on in life. And I still never felt like I wasn't accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's really
What
good.
about you, Richard? How were you easily accepted? Was the issue of acceptance did it affect anything?
I think my it's a yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, with my mother-in-law, I think she was open and she was willing to try this out. She has her last born daughter going across the world and marrying this African man in the African, young man in a strange country.
Yeah.
And so for her, it was by faith. She's a woman of God. And she, and my mother-in-law is very supportive. If the Lord, she hears from the Lord, she has a special gift of hearing from the Lord, and following instructions from that. And she was very supportive from the beginning, and she supported what her daughter wanted to do and what would make her happy. So when I come into the picture, that's what the daughter wanted. So she was very accepting and very, very supportive. I got a call from the sister though. So so she has an older sister. So actually we were walking from Livingston town. We were walking home. And this was actually a period of reflection for us because we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't have a house. We didn't, we didn't know where to start from.
Mhm.
And but we were talking about marrying. We had put already things in motion for marriage and our wedding, and parents were scrambling to figure out what's going on as well. So the sister calls me, and the phone rings. I think she answers and she says, "Oh, she wants to talk to you." So I'm like, "Why me? I mean, what? I mean, what does she want? I don't know her. I've never met her." And then
Yeah, I handed him the phone, like, just be calm.
be calm. And so I picked up the phone out. We're very respectful. I was like, "Hello, how are you doing?" And she was like, "Hey, Richard, how are you doing? I've heard so much about you." She was nice. And I think what she was trying to do was she came with a very different strategy of trying to appeal to my conscience, not to marry her. So she came and said, "Hey, tell me what you would do if your only sibling left Zambia, came to America, and decided she was going to live here and marry somebody. What would you do?" So it was a kind of, she flipped the whole thing on me, and I said, I think and I responded. I was nice. It was a candid discussion. I was like, it depends with the kind of situation. If my sibling is happy and she's safe, or he's safe where they are, and everything is fine, and this is something that my sibling wants to do, definitely I would support. Do I have the obligation to agree to it? No, but I'll be supportive because that's my sibling. So kind of, it ended on a good note. She didn't sound very happy, but if you fast forward now, we are kind of the best family.
Now my sister calls him before she calls me.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good.
My father-in-law was a little different because he didn't come for the wedding to Zambia, and he practically disowned her for marrying away from culture, away from the race, away from family, like way out across the oceans. So it took us, I think, almost
3 years.
3 years to travel. We traveled, I think, in
The second year.
in the second year, we traveled here to the USA to come and meet the father and the rest of the family. And it was nerve-wracking for me to come and meet her father.
And my dad's a big guy. He was 6'4", like hands like bear claws, like he's intimidating.
She had told me a lot of tales about the dad. My dad is big. He hunts. Hunting here is very, very popular.
I think I did that on purpose.
He had guns. Winnie, where we come from, we don't have guns like that. Yeah, today to meet this man.
Yeah.
But the encounter went smooth than I expected.
That's good.
He was very emotional because at that point we had our firstborn son, Eddie, and your namesake, Eddie.
Exactly. That's what I said.
So we did have our firstborn son. So when he saw the grandchild, he was just full of emotions. Exactly. And you noticed I was very respectful. I was as our culture, calls to respect elders and parents. So I think he got to love me eventually, and we became buddies.
Nice.
Wow, that's really good. Before I forget, on your anniversary, you posted something about how you guys met. There's a very interesting thing.
How we met. I don't know. So there's a conflict usually as to who has
How it
the,
went, really.
who has a correct vision of how this whole thing? I was, I don't know. How did we? What was the first day?
You tell your part first, then
I'm gonna tell my part, which is the correct version. So I'm at the church. There's a church, there's a historical church in Livingston called St. Andrew's Anglican Church. So I was a youth leader. I was actually a music director then, and of the praise team, the Divine Singers. So we are outside with youths, making, it was just, I think, Palm Sunday the following week. So we were decorating the church and making, crosses and stuff. And then at the same time, their mission team was actually doing a mission meeting in the church, inside the church. And she was out at the pastor's house on the back of the church making breakfast. And well, actually it was lunch. And she was alone, and she was making lunch for like maybe a couple of hundred people in the church. So, but anyway, it was just, packing, repackaging sandwiches and making them into. So I walk up to her. Actually, I wasn't really walking up to her.
Yes, he was.
I was going to the pastor's house, our pastor church. I don't know what I was going to get. I think I was curious to see what it was. So I walked up to the foyer of the church, and I get in, and she's squatting down, busy, and I was like, "Hey, can I help? How you doing? My name is Richard. I'm a youth leader here. Can I help you with lunches?" She said, "No, I got it. Thank you." I said, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. Thank you." So I thought, well, I've been dismissed. So I just went back to what I was doing.
The first time you came, I was making sandwiches, not opening sodas. You came twice. He came to see the pastor's house twice.
The
second time, I have like the crate of the glass bottle Coke, and so I'm taking each one out and like popping the top, putting it back in. So he's like, whoa, you're doing all this wrong. Let me show you how to do it. And I said, I told you I don't need help.
So anyway, we I got there, I opened one of the bottles, like, oh, okay. But at this point, I'm opening bottles, so she just lets me. I just impose myself to help. And we finish, we talk a little bit, and then I go back to what I was doing. Well, I think if 30 minutes or so passes, and I go back inside and lead praise and worship. And then I come back to making crosses and decorating. Well, she follows me at this point. And then she comes, she said, "What are you guys making?" And I try to teach how to make, crosses with palm trees. And I make this one cross for her and give it to her.
Which we still have. I have it in our photo album.
Wow.
Wait, can we tell the funny part of the story?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, so that's the post. That's how we met the first time. We met at church. It was really fun. We were young, both of us, and it was really a great meeting. And at that point, we exchanged. I was very quick and smart as I am. I'm just. I took the email address. I took her email address because I knew if she goes and joins the other group, I won't have a chance, and I won't have another chance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I took my chance, took the email address. I was like, yes.
The funny part on the backside, which came to bite me later, was that I had also met someone else. Now, remember, I was 17, so I was young, So I exchanged addresses with him and email addresses with Richard. So, Richard beat him to the punch when it comes to like contacting me first. So after 4 years of emailing, we come, we get married. And so I'm always telling Richard, I kept a journal when I was here the first time, and I wrote about you in my journal and
Oh,
all about you. And so
No,
I
it
left
wasn't.
I left it at home so he would never see it. Well, I give birth to our first son, and here comes my mom, and she was like, I brought you something you left at home, and she hands me the journal.
Oh,
I started sweating. I'm like, can I have that journal? You don't have to read it.
I was excited to read the journal, because I wanted to know what she was thinking about me when she went back home. So I'm like, hey, let's read your journal, what you wrote about me.
I've been building this up for a year.
Right. And I'm like, and she's like, no, let's read it in the evening. And then evening, I get back from work, I'm tired, go to bed. The following day, we don't get to read the journal for a week. I'm like, let's read this journal. So one time, I think she left it lying or something.
No, my mama gave it to you.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
And I started reading it. I read halfway through, there was no mention of me. I'm like, what do I come in here? I mean, there's like all kinds of names, pastor this, pastor that. And then there was this guy called Blessings that she kept talking about in the journal. And I'm like, dude, where's my part in this journal?
I'm like, it's coming. It's on the next page.
It's the next page. And we finally got to my part where I was actually in the journal.
mhm.
And it wasn't by name. It was actually, she
Youth
didn't
leader.
even mention my name. She said, I met a youth leader. I have never read that journal again. I read it once, that's it. I said, this is not me. I wasn't doing this.
Oh my God, that's so interesting.
okay. What advice do you have for families that are struggling with intercultural marriages? I'll give an example. I have little sisters and brothers that were born in Zambia, but from Congolese parents.
Mhm.
They're born in Zambia, Congolese parents. And then they are having situation whereby you cannot marry, for instance, you cannot marry a Zambian, but you can only stick to the Congolese. But those people, for instance, like in my situation, like my sisters, they were born in Zambia. They've never met all those Congolese outsiders. But they experience pressure from family, like, no, you don't do that. You have to stick to your culture and all that. I know there are a lot of families that are going through that. So what's your advice for those people?
You go first.
So I would say we were married 3 years in Zambia, had 2 children. I had tried to completely adapt Zambian culture. But I still felt like after 3 years there was a disconnect because he really didn't understand where I was coming from. And I think for someone that's marrying different cultures, it's very, very important that you spend time in both.
Yes.
Because once he lived here, he's kind of understood why we had so many challenges in the beginning. So even if it's just, a trip to go and meet all the family and see how life operates, I think that's probably the most important.
Yeah. I think communication is important.
Okay.
Communication and understanding, and also tolerant, because I think what we began to realize later on is that the first 3 months was hell because none of us was listening to each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with marrying someone from a different culture, from a different race, from a different region, from a different ethnic grouping. And that's big, like you said, Eddie, in Africa. You have to marry, even in Zambia.
In Zambia, yeah.
When will tell you, you can't marry Bembas or Lozis or Tongas.
Exactly. Wow. Did we lose them?
Um, we have some interruption right now.
Oh, there we go. We're back.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
So what I was saying was that I think there is nothing wrong in marrying someone from a different ethnic background, but communication, understanding, and learning each other's culture and ethnic background and the nuances of those cultures is very, very important.
Exactly.
And
I also think it's important to have, you know, the community around you support you. It doesn't come in the beginning, but you know, we could not have survived our marriage without family.
Yeah.
You know, I was lucky because his mom was always on my side, so
all the time.
But I don't think we could have made it without the support of family either. You know, sometimes we feel like the struggle is with our family, so maybe we just need to cut them off and try to do us. But I think in the end, that would be detrimental to the relationship.
Right. My big thing, I think what I began to, and I'll give you an example. I began to realize that my wife was unique. My wife was bringing to the table something. She wasn't just bringing love, but she was bringing a different, unique perspective, and it's different from mine. And I was also unique in my own way, in our own Lozi plus Ushi culture that I grew up with, because my mother is Ushi and my father is Lozi. So the two cultures, bringing them together, we began to realize that we were going to be a great couple if we only ensured that communication was open. We were willing as well to learn from each other.
That's true.
So I began to understand. I'll give you an example. The differences sometimes that affect people from accepting each other. I used to work. So, when we were growing up as boys back home, boys would go to work. After work, my friend would come and pick me up from work, or I'll go to his office, and then we'll pick another friend, and then we'll go to some local pub and just sit down, have drinks, and do stuff. Okay, well, my wife said, Natalie was like, no, but you can't do that. And I said, yes, I can. Because that's what guys do. We go out and as guys and do things as guys, and then wives will stay at home and cook and when I come, I will find meal and food on the table.
Which is completely opposite for my culture.
Which is completely opposite with the American,
especially Southern culture.
Southern, culture here in America. And she was like, no, if you're going out, I gotta be there. I have to be there. I said, no, you don't come where guys are. None of the other guys have wives there. What are you talking about? So it was a problem. It was a really, really big problem. So
and in the beginning I felt like he was the only friend that I had. I hadn't built those relationships yet. All my friends were back here in America, and I felt like he was the only person that I related to. So it was tough.
It was really tough until I began to realize, I think it took me a little bit. Well, we had a huge fight.
It took you a lot of it.
Yeah. We used to have huge fight. Sometimes she would follow me.
No, I did not.
Like get a taxi.
No,
Jose,
I did not.
And follow me. Yeah.
I called you 5,000 times. I never followed you, honey. I ain't that desperate.
See what I'm talking about?
I used to call him and cut his phone off.
She'll blow my phone out. And then I'm like, no, I don't wanna, not answer because it might be an emergency. So I pick up, baby, what? And she's like,
Where are you?
where are you? Like, you don't ask where I am.
Click.
That's
Yeah.
Oh my!
Oh.
it was bad, guys.
Yeah, that was bad.
But you know, the first time, like, I think he began to realize, like, I gave him a guilt trip long enough that he started to kind of see my side on it. And so he was like, oh, you know, I'm just going to push my friends to the end of the road. Why don't you come with me? So I think that was the beginning of where we started to, like, blur those lines a little bit with our culture. So
yeah. I think well, also what helped was the support system, because every time we had an argument, it doesn't matter. My family sided with her.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. So my mom and dad would say, well, you brought this white person here to us.
Yeah, his dad.
And then you want to make us suffer? No. So my father and they were all just kind of just tag team against me. I don't know what in the world. I am a child.
Dad would say, you can't bring her away from her entire family and then leave her alone. His dad used to say that all the time.
Yeah, you're the only friend. So, you know, kind of, and it's in our culture most of the times. And I've seen a little bit of change now. A lot of family members of mine who get on to me, even if I was right.
Yeah, they would.
I was like, what in the world? But I guess I began to realize that what they're trying to do is to get me to understand my wife's culture.
Yeah.
My wife's
you know,
perspective.
when I moved to Zambia, it was like I wanted to cram in all the information I needed so that I knew how to do everything. You know, I took classes before marriage to help me out to understand the culture. I was always learning from his sisters, like trying to cook all the meals. Like I made it a point that I wanted to like be immersed completely. And I think that effort was seen by everybody, you know, and that helped me to understand, because my mother-in-law would take me to different homes. Like we would go to weddings and kitchen parties, and she just wanted me to completely understand. And I think that helped a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you see, she's hard-headed. I tell her, don't walk.
I am very. Are we going here?
Go ahead, guys.
Okay, so what is one thing that both of you have to compromise? Like, okay, in my culture, this is what we do, but because of her, I have to forget about it. Or because of him, I have to forget about it. I have to go with his culture. Is there anything that you have to compromise?
Yes, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We really had to compromise a lot. For instance, there was instances where I just wanted to do things with my friends.
Exactly, yeah. You said.
But I realized I cannot leave her alone, you know, because in their culture, you know, wives and girlfriends do things together.
Exactly.
All the time. like she's wanted to be involved in whatever I was doing, you know, with an exception of work, of course. But in terms of social life, my friends, you know, she wanted to be involved. So I had to compromise that. And I had to make it clear to my friends and say, look, guys, don't worry if my wife comes, you know, this is how it is. And then I began to see wives of my friends, okay, if she's coming, we're coming. So it became the whole dynamic changes around our friends. So we were around each other's, you know, fiancés and wives. And so we began to build that social bond, that strong support system and network of friends.
And you know, he's a very social person, and I'm not. So I'm a little more like keep to myself. I'm a creative body, so I'm always trying to figure out something to do. But he's a very social person, and I think that disconnect was difficult, and challenging for us because, you know, I think Zambia changed me 100% for the better versus how I was before I went. But still to this day, we have challenges about that. He's like, just come and, you know, let's go see friends or let's go to this party. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know these people. Like, what am I supposed to do? I think even now, after so long, that can still be challenging for us because he's like, "Oh, I was talking to this person, and I'm going here," and I'm like, "I just want to stay at home in my pajamas and wash laundry." Like,
Yeah, the other part that I think she had to really give up a lot, because I'll tell you one thing that I really appreciate my wife for. That she really made a huge adjustment was, and a lot of people don't agree with us on this, but we've made it work for us, and it's beautiful. It stopped most of the 90% of arguments.
yeah, we really don't fight anymore.
Yeah, we began to develop trust. So I trust my wife to a point where I can go all day. She'll go to work and I go to work, and we can go all day without even talking. I know where she is. She's at school. If she leaves to go somewhere else, she'll let me know. I'm going this way. Don't worry about it. She's at work. I'm at work. I'm not on the phone texting. Where are you? What are you doing? And all that.
No, we go the full day without talking. Most of the
A
time.
lot of people find it very strange, but we have built this unique trust in each other, such that I don't need to look at my wife's phone at all. I don't even lay my hands on it. Even if she left it at home, she say, "Hey, she'll call from a. Hey, I left my phone." I said, "Yeah, it's where you left it." And because of I trust her, she trusts me. I have no need to be suspicious of anything.
That's good.
And that has helped a lot, because we're both very jealous people, because we love each other. And she's beautiful. Oh, I want to say I'm handsome, but we've come to an understanding that you are doing the right thing at all time, and that I'm doing the right thing at all time. And we have no reason to distrust each other.
And I would say another thing that I think that helped us break through cultures was in the beginning, in Zambia, when we were there, I know times have changed a little bit, but you didn't have all the technology that we have here in America. And I think to just not have the TV on, not have a phone in our hand, we would lay in the bed and talk for hours. Like there would be some nights we wouldn't even sleep. Like we would wait,
just talked.
Yeah, the whole night. And I think we still do that, and it helps put a connection there that you might not be feeling for a long time.
Yeah.
So
communication, just talking. You don't have to talk about.
Which also helps not communicating all day long, because you come home and you don't have anything to talk about if you've been texting all day.
Yeah.
I think that.
So when she comes home, we are eager to hear what the day was. Get to mingle, check kids' homeworks, get in bed, just lie down and talk the day off. You know what this person did. We know what that person did. Kind of update each other on how the day went.
Wow.
That's really powerful. I know we've done that too, whereby the whole day we just realize it's 5 o'clock. Like, oh my God, we've just been talking. We've done that several times, whereby we don't sleep. We're just talking. That's really beautiful. That's really powerful. I already told people that we're gonna have an inspirational couple, and I think you guys qualify that word.
Thank you.
It has been a lot of work.
Yeah.
For us to get here.
I think beautiful things require a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's easy to get into marriage, interracial marriage, like we are.
And we make it look easy sometimes, but it's not.
It's not really easy. It takes a lot of tolerance, a lot of flexibility, a lot of and my wife, like she said, I thank her a lot. Sometimes I feel I don't deserve her, because she had to change a lot.
Yeah, I'm a different person.
Because when she came when she came the first time, we lived together with my father. We had a big house. And then you see my wife, we were just, I think, a week from the wedding, and she would come out in the in short shorts. And I'll come out, and I woke up late sometimes, and on weekends, on Saturday, she's in short shorts.
They really weren't that
And
short, but
Yeah, right. And she's white. You know what I'm saying? And you come out in these short
what does
shorts.
white have to do with anything?
She comes out in these shorts.
Uh,
She's out there helping my mom sweep the yard.
Yeah.
And then I get out. Well, my mom usually, when she's with my mom, uhanda ichitenge.
Yeah, she'll say Ani.
Ani ichitenge.
Is it-
And then sometimes my mom would leave in the morning to go to the market or something, and then she's alone. She'll forget about the chitenge and she'll just be there. And then my dad will walk out and just walk right back in. Because she's in shorts. And then my dad was like, hey, can you go and make sure Natalie is outside sleeping?
So the day that happened, Richard, that evening when he got home, he was like, so I need to tell you something that you're not going to like. And I was like, what? He goes, when we get married, you're never wearing shorts again. I was like, what do you mean?
I was trying to be nice because we were trying to get a wedding going. I was like, baby, listen. How many shorts do you have, and how many?
That's all I
dresses do
packed.
you
Like
have? She had
literally, that
more
was it.
shorts than anything else. You can't wear shorts like that in front of my dad and people like that. She was like, wow, why can't I wear shorts? It's hot. Livingston.
Yeah.
Livingston is hot.
Livingston gets hot. Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, so anyway, we really
I
had a
would
good
say,
time.
I need to have a suntan.
I need a tan. I'm like, baby, you can't be tanning here in front of my dad. Go and wear some.
I think Richard's dad was the hardest one to win over.
Yeah.
I think he was my challenge. Like I wanted to be, he accepted me, but culturally with us staying with him, it's not normal for him to sit down with me culturally in Zambia. And so Richard's mom decided she was going to take a trip up north, and she stayed gone for almost a month, I think. She was gone, and at that time, Richard's sisters were all in school. They weren't around during the day, so I was the one that was left to take care of Dad. So boiling his bath water and cooking for him, and I think after that time of me doing that, that is when I knew I was completely accepted by his dad, because we were forced to be together. And although he didn't like it and would never admit that he liked it, in the end, I did feel like that was our connection.
Yeah. He looked forward for her to cook with Shima. My wife can cook with Shima, and he would cook for everyone at home in Zambia, and everyone would
Sometimes
eat.
I would cook him like special foods. Like one day I cooked him chicken and dumplings. Like he would just want to taste something, from where I was from. So it was a bonding process.
So, Richard, you mentioned something like, interracial marriage is not easy.
Mhm.
That's what you said, right? So, I know there's someone somewhere watching right now. Maybe they are into that, thinking of going to interracial marriage, and then after listening to after hearing that, maybe they start taking like a second thought.
No, actually, what I meant to say was, it's not easy navigating the cultural nuances at the very beginning. Once you get into it, understand each other, learn each other's strengths and weaknesses, and adopt good things in both cultures, it becomes a perfect union.
But I also don't think it has anything to do with race. I think it all has to do with culture. Because if he was from here and I'm from here, our race really doesn't play a part in anything, but the culture of your family is everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And cultures differ. Even in Zambia, we differ. The way the Lozis do things differ from the members do things. The way we do things in Zambia is different from the way our brothers and sisters in DRC, Congo do it. And so it all depends on I agree with you. It's about the culture, those traditions and stuff like that.
Now we do, I think living where we live in North Carolina in the one of the southern states, I do think it plays a part in the United States. I never felt like my race mattered in Zambia. But here, in the South, you're going to have white men and women who are going to give you racial slurs and say things to you. But I never felt that in Zambia. But here, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Like in Zambia, because I don't know, maybe because of where we lived as well. Because in Livingston, the Livingston community is used to seeing white people, Chinese people, from Indians. So it's a tourist spot. So they're used to seeing different races. So that they don't really, it doesn't bother them. It doesn't catch their eye. So even she would walk to Maramba Market. And I'm like, what? And then friends who call me, taxi drivers who call me, hey, Aka, I've seen your wife at Maramba Market. And I'll pick up the phone and say, what are you doing in Maramba walking like that in the dust and all that?
Look, when our kids are a year apart, so I would have my daughter Puppet on the front and Eddie on the back.
She has bags of ShopRite bags.
2 babies in plastic bags. I'm
like, and then taxi driver like, you are Aka, we don't have money to pay a taxi driver to your wife to be taken home. I'm like, guys, we have cars at home. We have taxis. We own taxis. One of my taxis can pick her up.
Oh my God! One day he found out that I rode in one of the buses to Dumbwa Central, in the blue buses, and he had a fit. He was like, "You're white. You can't be doing stuff like that."
Because that's our people, and it's not just them. Eddie, the optics. You know how we guys are with optics. Guys will be like, "Iwe Aka, what are you doing?" I see your wife on a blue bus. I think she wants to do that, and I'm not going to stop her.
That's true.
Even if I stop her, she's not listening to me. When I leave, she'll tell me, "Okay, I won't do it again." You promise, yes. As soon as I leave to go to work, she hops into a bus. She
would be like, "Why do you do that?" And I'm like, "Because I would rather buy 2 Apple Macs and not pay 10 pence to ride in a private taxi."
It's like I'll save money so that when I come back to town, I can buy me a Hungarian sausage and Apple Mac.
Chips from ShopRite.
Oh my God!
Wow.
But it's been a very good marriage for us. We've been so much blessed, and I think people shouldn't fear marrying someone from a different race.
No.
Because it's a perfect. We have 2 beautiful children, and we couldn't ask for any better.
But you have to be 100% open, and you have to be willing to accept anything that might come your way. If you're not willing to do those things, I would caution you, to be careful. But and sometimes it's just talking to other people that have been married, having discussions, getting help from church if you need help there. Like you really have to be open to make it work culturally.
Exactly. Wow. Wow.
I wish we can do 5 hours of this.
I know.
Thank you. So I'm going to ask one more, which is off topic. I always ask every couple that gets here. I know finances is one of the things that divide couples a lot. Some people believe that you have to go in 50-50. Others believe whoever has the capability of providing is going to take care of whatever is needed. So what's your take on that?
I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
Because, finances,
it can make it or break it.
It is very true. It's a very big thing. We see it in our friends. We have a lot of friends around us. We see it in, couples around us. The wife has her own bank account, husband has his own bank account. Then they split bills and stuff like that.
Exactly.
We don't.
No.
I think finance has never been an issue really in the way that we do things, because from early on we decided your money is my money, my money is your money.
That's
If
right.
you want to spend it, go ahead and spend it. If you spend it all on something that doesn't help our family, you and I will sleep outside.
That's true.
So you know what we need in the house. I know what we need in the house. So if you go spend my entire paycheck on something that doesn't help us put food on the table, we are going to sleep hungry.
That's true.
So we from the word go, I get paid, it goes in my paycheck, goes in the same account as her paycheck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same account. We have a debit, I have a debit card for that account, she has a debit card for that account.
That's
Money
good.
goes in there. We don't question each other's expenditures unless really we there's something major. I spend maybe $200 on something. Then it will show, okay, well, you spent, what was that for? If it's something like a normal bill, we don't even ask. I pay the bills every month. She used to do it. But because of business and all that stuff, I took up the responsibility of running around and paying all these bills. So we have a joint account, we have a savings account, and that's it. And everyone has access to that.
That's good.
That's
That's really good.
Normal, I think, if your finances are together and your money is low, I think it's normal to have like anxiety about it. And, it might make everybody a little more hateful in the house, but it's definitely better 100% together. In
That's
our opinion.
Yeah.
That's
I've met friends who are like, no, we don't share now. That's my money.
Yeah.
And
We've
that's
also seen marriages break up because of
Yeah.
that.
and that's okay if that works for them, but for us, that's something that is just unfathomable. We cannot do that. I mean, she knows how much I make, how much I get paid, when I get paid. And I know when she gets paid. We don't even think about it, really.
That's true.
If internet gets cut, she's like, what? Did internet get cut? Oh, sorry, I forgot. You go pay.
That's
So
good.
it really hasn't been an issue at all. We
That-
plan together. If we are to invest some money somewhere that's substantial, we'll sit down and talk about it. If we are starting a new business, we'll sit down and talk about it. How much are we going to invest here? How much are we going to invest here? We talk about it all the time.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you. Again, it's been an hour already.
Oh, no.
This is very
This
good.
is nice.
Thank you very. If you have another interesting topic, we'll invite you guys again.
Yes.
Thank you for having us, and definitely we are excited to come, and we are honored to be invited on this wonderful program. I hope that we did help somebody out there
Oh
that
yeah.
is in an interracial marriage, or they're considering doing that.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yes. I would say, we've been called upon by elders in the community here to talk to people who are wanting to go into relationships that are like different cultures. We're willing to talk too. So if you ever feel like you have someone that wants to reach out to us, we're always open to that if you have questions.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's
so much.
amazing. Thank you so much, Natalie and Richard. We really appreciate you guys. You are a
Thank you.
beautiful couple. And again, guys, check out their website with the good work they do in North Carolina. Thank you so much, guys.
And Winnie, we can bend you because you have such a decent show. My husband always wants to do like reality TV. So good job.
Good job. This is a wonderful program, guys. We will support you. We'll share it every time. We'll follow it, and so definitely, we are so excited for you guys. You're a beautiful couple too. Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much. We'll
much.
talk about that.
Bye.
Have a
Bye-bye,
great,
brother.
great day, guys.
Wow.
Wow.
What a beautiful
Amazing. What a beautiful couple. What a beautiful day, babe.
Mhm.
Whew, thank you guys for watching today. That was Mr. and Mrs. Akashambatwa. Yeah, you can check their website. And please, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching on Facebook, please like. And God bless you guys. We love you. And we'll see you next week Sunday with another interesting
We'll see you next week
topic.
Sunday. And remember, love does not have barriers.
Mhm.
Does not have barriers. So you can marry anybody from any culture and all that. So you don't have to be like, oh, I have to marry someone from this culture or this and that. So that does not work that way. It's love that connects people.
Mhm.
Okay. Ciao for now.
Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.